Hello everybody, this is Peter Beckenham, the Village Marketer, and welcome again to another episode of Captivating Conversations. And today I've got a really good bloke for you to listen to, and his name is Greg Smith. How are you, Greg?
Good, Pete. Thank you. Hello, listeners.
It's nice to have you, Greg. And with your permission, do you mind if I ask you a few questions so people can get to know you?
Yep, let's get stuck into it.
Let's get stuck into it. All right. First of all, what in the heck do you do? And why do you do it?
All right. Well, let's talk about the what. So we provide administrative services predominantly to trades businesses all over Australia. And when we say administrative, so that's anything from taking all their calls, scheduling all their work, booking in site visits, following up on quotes, sending all their invoices, everything that they either do during the day to take them away from earning or maximising their billable hours, to what I used to do, and that's part of the why, do it at night when they should be spending time in their own life or with their own family. So the why is I've had my own trades business, Pete, and I most certainly was that trade business owner who tried to do everything in a 16-hour day and found that 16 hours wasn't enough. So then I did Saturdays, and then I started to do quotes on Sunday mornings and burnt myself out big time, thinking that was just what you did because all my mates were doing the same thing. Long story short, when I sold those businesses and worked for other tradies as an employee, I uncovered that those that had an element of admin support were so much better organised than those poor buggers like me at the time trying to do it all on their own. And when I asked around and I searched, there wasn't anyone that was providing that service for a whole heap of tradies. It might have been a girlfriend or a wife that was looking after their partner's business, but not a business collectively looking after lots of tradies. So I put my entrepreneurial hat on, Pete, and thought, I'm going to give this a crack. And that was 3.5 years later. We've got 8 staff now. We look after tradies all over Australia, and, you know, we're changing their lives.
Are you thinking of going to the national at the same time?
Yes, we are. We're looking at that, but the old adage of get it right in your own backyard first, and which is certainly our motivation right now. And there's certainly enough tradies in Australia to keep us busy, even with a single-digit percentage market share.
Yeah.
But as I always say, somewhat flippantly, but it'll become serious one day, that the plumber in Arizona, Texas, needs exactly the same service as the plumber that lives 2 doors down from me. They just have a different business name. So yes, it's not out of the realms of possibility, that's for sure.
And is it still true that many tradies will be working 16 hours a day?
Oh, all my tradie mates are still doing that if they haven't engaged someone like us. They're on the tools during the day. Let's call that 8-10 hours, but they haven't done any admin work. The last client that we signed up, Pete, explained to me how he gets his leads, and he's got a landline on his website and on his Google page and on his Facebook, and he has a recording, and that landline is his home phone. And he gets home after working 8 to 10 hours on the tools and then sits down and listens and writes down all of those numbers of the people who want his services. And then he does his very best that night to try and call them back. And surprise, surprise, it's too late for some of them. They've already found someone else.
Yeah.
So that was his setup. And he used to do, I said, what would be the maximum? He goes, I would have listened to 20 voice messages some afternoons. I said, how long does that take? He goes, Greg, you don't want to know.
And of course the impact on your family life as well, right?
Understated, to say the least, Pete. Understated. The best testimonial I've ever received is the wife of a tradie who was with us for just 3.5 weeks, and she rang me out of the blue and she said, I was just compelled to give you a call just to let you know that hubby and I have not argued about his business since we started with you, because there's nothing to argue about anymore. It's all just so organised.
Hey, that is great stuff.
Isn't that the best testimonial in the world?
Absolutely. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Look, you sort of partially answered it, but I'll just ask to make sure so the audience gets it. What actually got you started in this?
I've always loved having my own business, and I honestly saw an opportunity to affect a lot of people's lives. And at the end of the day, we're running a company, Pete, and we're allowed to make a dollar, just as every business owner is.
Yeah.
But if we can make a dollar and affect people's lives for the better, and the industry, the trade industry and service-based businesses industry as a whole, well, that to me is just a double win. People can sell a product and make a dollar. That's cool. Customer will be happy. But if we're changing lives, and in some respects, that wife of that tradie who rang me, potentially saving a relationship, holy smoke, like that's just utopia for me.
Mm. And to be fair, I mean, so people know, you are a qualified carpenter in your own right. That's correct?
Yes, right? Yes, I am.
Okay.
I am. So I've definitely lived the life of trying to do it all on your own, and I understand the pain points. I understand them perfectly.
And that was the reason I asked the question. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Greg, who would be your ideal client right now? I mean, apart from just being a tradie, anything in particular?
Nothing. It's certainly open to having someone else in their business, Pete. Listen, again, I'm reflecting on my early days of having my own business and bringing someone else into your business. Potentially, you just see it as a money cost. You don't understand the benefits, and you certainly haven't done the qualifying of having that said expert in your business. So someone who's open to having someone else in their business, someone who's very comfortable to handing their phone over to us and not keeping it in their back pocket as a security blanket. I've had phones thrown at me going, take this bloody thing away from me. I've had enough of it. Cool, let's go. Who's open to growing, because the only thing that does happen, or one of the things that does happen with our customers' businesses, is it grows. I don't know how many calls I've had today with a thanks for calling me back. Well, you know, that's tick box number one from a customer's perspective, that they've received a call back. And guess what they'll tell their neighbour when they say, how did you go trying to find that roofer? Well, fantastic. You know, I got this guy and they actually called me back. So all of a sudden there's a referral headed our way as well. So customer service to our clients' customers is imperative. So they need to understand that they'll grow. They need to be somewhat computer savvy, although that's not a mandatory need, because we're going to set them up in online job management systems. So effectively their calendar won't be a paper diary anymore. It'll be sitting on their phone inside an app. And it doesn't matter what size they are, Pete. Half our clients are sole traders. Biggest guy's an electrician running 8 guys on the road. So it doesn't matter. We've just got more to do for that second guy than we do for the sole trader.
You know, Greg, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but in another conversation we had before, you mentioned something to me that really struck me. And that is that in the future, you're looking at probably expanding, okay? Maybe even outside Australia, as long as you get your backyard right first, as you said, right? Mm-hmm. But there's something even more important in your life that you'd like to do in the future. Would you like to share what that is?
Let's start with F.
Tell me more.
Well, we're very much considering franchising the business. And that's very exciting, because I have a growth plan that I know I cannot achieve on my own. It would be impossible. If I was 25, Pete, and oh God, how I wish I was 25 again, and knew what I knew about this market and this business and an opportunity, then I could sit comfortably in my desk and say, I've got my next 30, 35 years, 40 years of business all worked out. Let's just make this thing happen. But alas, I'm not 25. But I still believe that there's growth and opportunities there for this business. So franchising and accelerating the growth there's a beautiful fit there. And even in a couple of weeks' time, I'm sitting down with a provider of that, and we're going to start putting some pen to paper, rubber to the road, as they say, Pete. And we're going to start getting stuck into it.
But you also have an ulterior motive, don't you? Because at the end, if I recall, one of the things you would love to do in the future is to do things for free.
Yeah, listen. When I had my trades business, and this was a thorn in my side at the time, and I didn't realise it. Is that I just love helping people, and I love putting a smile on people's faces, and I did that too much, to be frank, in my business, and I was very much the could you do this while you're here? No problem. No problem would be my first reply. And it cost me a little bit, and I did get walked over a few times. I would love to provide a service that, I'm not going to walk around the streets every day with a tool belt on saying who wants a tradie for free, but certainly get into that philanthropy type provision and help out as many people as I can. And that might be helping underprivileged kids and, building homes for them, or rectifying a house that, got water damaged or something like that. I'll be the first to put up my hand and say, mate, the tool bag's in the boot. I'm on my way. Not necessarily because I'm not here to take money away from trades who are trying to make a living, but I'm certainly happy to put my hand up and going, if you need a hand, then I'll be at the front of the line.
Greg Smith, you're a pretty special man, there's no doubt about you, and you are a rare resource. Let me know.
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. So how can tradies get in touch with you, Greg? What's the best way?
Oh, best way, just send us an email, Pete. That's office@adminstheanswer, ADMINS theanswer.com.au, office@adminstheanswer.com.au. My direct mobile, and I don't mind putting that out, Pete, is 0412 831 401. And if they want to have a look through and see a bit more about my history and a bit more about the work we do and the team we have, then adminstheanswer.com.au is our website.
Greg, thank you so very much for sharing your valuable time, because I know how bloody busy you are, mate.
Thanks, Pete.
Thanks a lot, mate.
You're very welcome. Cheers.
Okay, cheers.